Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Canon EOS photographer RandallMRueff. Today is Friday, April the 29th, 2016 AD. Only a few short days away, 30 and then the 1st. So, 2+ days, give or take, until the worldwide release of the EOS-1D X Mark II. So, with that in mind, I'm going to compare the EOS-1D X Mark II to the EOS-1D X, which is the original. So let's compare. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty then. So, first things first. Let's talk about price. MSRP is $6,000 no matter what you do for the 1D X Mark II. MSRP is $67.99, or the Canon store has it for $45.99 because the prices have been going down. You can probably get this price at things like Amazon or B&H or some other places. Of course, you have lenses for both. You've got a 20.2 compared to an 18.1, so you got a 2.1 boost in megapixels with 1D X Mark II. 1.0 full frame for both, obviously. Let's see what we got here. What else? 100, 251, 200. Expandable to ISO 409,000. 600 ISO over here for the 1D X is 204,800. So basically, the ISO has gone from 204,800 to 409,600, which most people aren't going to be using. I can't imagine where I would be using that unless I'm doing some private investigation work or police work or military people doing surveillance. Navy SEALs trying to be covert. This 100 or maybe 50. But 100 to 51,200 is where you're going to do 99.99% of your work. Same thing here. The fact that it goes from 204, the old one, to 409, 600 is, for me, not even really an issue. For some people it may, but for the average person, it's this 409. I really can't see it being a viable option for it. Like I said, unless because there's going to be a lot of, either one of these is 204,800 or 409,600, no matter which one it is, or anywhere in between, there's going to be a lot of noise, and it just, for the high-end photographer, it's not going to be usable for night surveillance, or private investigation work, or police work, or, somewhere you're at nighttime and you can't use flash, and you can't use, it may be the thing to do. Okay, shutter speeds, 1/8,000th to 30 seconds. Basically bulb. So basically you got, for all intents and purposes, it's the same. 61 points. 61, basically the same. No real significance there. Viewfinder, went too far. Okay. Viewfinder coverage, 100%. There's a little bit of, there's a vertical at 0.76 with the old one. With the new one, it's still 100%. So they made a little bit of improvement there. Not much, but it's worthy of noting. 14 frames per second, 12 frames per second. I do believe you can set your frames per second. They have a menu now where you can, in the frames per second, where if you don't want to shoot 14 frames per second, you shoot like 5 or 7 or 9 or 11 or 13 or 12 or 10 or whatever. I think there's a setting where you can change your frames per second. So if you only want to shoot 4 frames per second, you don't need 14 frames per second. You say you want to shoot 4 frames per second or 3 frames. You can set your camera, I believe, to do that. The maximum is 14 or 16 in live view, which is 2 frames more per second than the 1D X over here than the 1D X. No built-in flash for either. Autofocus during. Ooh, no, that's been talked about some, but that's definitely an improvement. So you're doing video. In the past, you couldn't do autofocus. Now you can. So that right there, in and of itself, is a nice feature boost. As I get something to drink. For people who do a lot of video, that's going to be that's for video people. That's a big deal. In fact, that's for video people. That could be a reason they switch to this camera over something else, because now they can do autofocus for video. So that's for the casual video person, it's not a big deal. But for people who do video all the time, or a lot of video, or people whose job is nothing but video, that's a big positive. Yes, that's a positive improvement. Of course, we go from the old one of 2 CF cards, Type 1 or Type 2, to 1 CF card and 1 CFast 2.0 card. I don't like the fact that they have 2 different card types, but that's what they're doing. Video recording. You've got the 4K and Full HD. On the 1D X, you only had 1080p. So that's definitely, the 4K boost is definitely an improvement. Plus the Full HD, you can do 120 frames per second, which gives you the slow-mo effect, which is really cool. So that's video recording overall has been drastically improved, comparatively speaking, in the 1D X Mark II. 6.2. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller there. No, a little bit bigger. Excuse me. 3 point. So, okay, so 6.2. So it's a little bit bigger there. 6.4, 6. A little bigger here. And a little smaller there. So 2 bigger and 1 smaller. So keeping in that relative amount, it's basically the same. Dual digit 6 processors for the new one. Dual digit 5s. I was hoping that would be dual digit 7s, but they're already saying that one of the problems with the dual digit 6s is the fact they have to put in the heat pipe. There's something called a heat pipe to deal with excess heat. So maybe 2 digit 7s would have been over too much heat. I don't know what the deal is, but right now it's dual digit 6s. So you live with it. It's still basically an improvement, no matter how you look at it. It's a big improvement, or a relatively big improvement. I just wish it was more improvement than it is. I mean, that's always the case, but still, nonetheless. LCD screen, 3.2 to 3.2, TFT color, liquid crystal monitor. Basically, it's the same thing. Weight, 53.97 compared to 13, so it's a little bit lighter. 53.97 to 54, not much. I mean, if you were probably to pick up one next to that, you probably wouldn't notice a difference. Unless you put it on a scale, more than likely you're not going to notice a difference. It is a little bit lighter though. Megapixels facet. We already talked about this, 20.2 to 8.1. Battery life, number of shots, up to 1,210. And the reason this is not applicable is because the battery, I believe. At least the 1D X and the 1D X Mark II both have different batteries. Now they're compatible, but they're different. The 1D X Mark II is a better, faster battery. The 1D X battery is still powerful, but it's not as fast as powerful as the 1D X Mark II's battery. It's the same physical size. They are compatible, but they say if you take a 1DX battery and put it into a 1DX Mark II, you won't get as many shots per second as you would if you had a 1DX Mark II battery and a 1DX Mark II. Now whether that works the other way, I doubt it. Where you could take a 1DX Mark II battery, put it in a 1DX and get more frames. I don't think that's how it works, but that's probably why it's not applicable. Battery life. I don't know why it's not applicable there, but anyway. So we're talking $6,000 compared to $4,599 or $4,600. So basically a $1,400 difference between the old one and the new one, which will be released in a day or two. Actually, about two days, 29 to 30, less than 2 days theoretically. So I'm looking forward to that. So in review, 1,210 shots, 20.2 megapixel, so it's an increase of 2.1. A little bit lighter, same screen, faster, better processor. Dimensions are approximately the same. Video recording is a lot better, comparatively speaking. You've got a CFast and then the compact flash compared to just 2 compact flashes in the old one. You can autofocus now during video, which you couldn't before. No built-in flash. I don't think we'll see that in a 1DX model, but we could, but I seriously doubt it because it's a high-end professional camera. Frames per second up by 2. Video coverage is completely 100%, whether it's horizontal or vertical now, as compared to not being in the 1DX. Before it was 100% horizontal, 0.76 times vertical. So now it's 100% both ways, which is good, in my opinion. Number of focusing points at 61, with 41 cross type points, basically the same as basic shutter speeds of 1/8000th to 30-second, and a bulb timer, which is basically the same as before. Basic ISO ranges are 100 to 51,200, which is the same. The only difference is the expandable ISO is now gone from 204/800 in the 1DX to the 409,600 in the 1DX Mark II, which really for most people isn't going to make a big difference. Crop factor is 1.0, it's full frame. Megapixels are 20.2, or I said that to 18.1, so you got a 2.1 megapixel increase. Of course, they're both compatible with EF lenses, and the 1DX is $1,400 cheaper than the 1DX Mark II, which comes out in about 2 days. And that is my camera product comparison of the 1DX to the Canon EOS-1D X Mark II. Until next time, I'm Canon EOS photographer RandallMRueff. Say thanks for watching. Have a good day. And God bless you. And as always, keep taking those pictures. Bye. We had a screenshot.